Yo, Callan's here. And as usual, chat's being iffy. Every single time I set up a stream, it seems like a whole thing. I have to like redo all of my like interactives, all my notifications. It always seems to be reset, but give me 1 second. I'll see to this. Go to chat box. Warm and cozy. Yes, for one thing I can say is that I'm pretty warm and cozy. I hope the same for you. I was outside a lot a couple days ago. I was helping build an ice sculpture, which was really fun. Well worth it. But yeah, ever since that, I've been like, we'll just stay inside for the next couple days. Let's see if I can just relaunch, maybe? Okay, well, does it work now? Hey, okay. Chat's online. Oh boy, it has been a day. I'm hoping my stream holds out okay, because I have had some blips. Hello, Amara. Welcome. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep an eye on like stream health. Should be good at the moment, you know. We'll keep an eye on it. As I said, brief internet blip earlier, but mostly it's been fine today. Yeah. So I've had a bit of a scattered day. I wanted to be live like 3 hours ago, at least. Oh, you're typing, but not me. Okay. I did move my microphone to something that was more, like, better flow for my desk space, but it is farther from my face now. So that should be a little better. Farther from the keyboard, closer to me. It's right there. I do have a video game to play today. We're going to be in a few different games probably. Because as I said in the title of the video, we are here for size research purposes. And I'm hoping that, let's just check. Can we hear the game audio? Or do I need to do something else to fidget with that? I can hear it because I have headphones on. But yeah, so it's been a day. It's been tricky getting myself like focused and on track, and there's a lot going on, and we're all seeing it all going on and doing our best to figure out what we can do and cope. And no game audio. Okay, so I might know what to do if I audio. Aha. Okay. Wait. Oh no. Oh man. I swear I'm gonna get better at this. Okay. I know what to do and I know how to make it quieter. Audio output. Crank that down to like. Maybe there? I'm so sorry for deafening everybody. I didn't think I had actually picked like a sound source at all. Thank you, Amara. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're not here to to do the whimsy and have the fun and think about the things that are silly and enjoyable but also don't ultimately matter. Hopefully some folks saw my previous my YouTube video about the size research corner for Hoppip, because that's kind of what we're here to work on today. I did tease the next couple ideas I had for like Pokemon subjects, and I believe I have that notebook beside me here. So we're gonna take some notes on, I want to look into Beldum. I want to look into Magnemite. I have done a lot of Magnemite stuff in the past. Yeah, what a rabbit hole. I'm hoping my next couple episodes are going to be simpler. I didn't expect to go quite so deep on Hoppip. I did think it was going to be like a 7-minute video or something, and then there was just so many things that I ended up wanting to talk about, and I even cut some stuff that I wanted to talk about. So I'm probably going to do, actually, Jumpluff. I did want to do a bit of a follow-up video on Jumpluff. So while we're in these games, I might get a couple more references for Jumpluff itself. But generally, you know, Hoppip's really grown on me. I don't remember exactly the trajectory of it all, but I always quite liked Hoppip and Jumpluff. I feel bad that I don't like Skiploom more than I do. I like it fine. It's just kind of meh to me in the line. But yeah, like anytime, you can ask, most artists will say the same thing, because there's some other people that I always like to chat with, but like anytime that once you've made something, whether it's like I crochet them or, you know, some people bake their Pokemon treats, and whatever it is, once you've like done a certain Pokemon in your style, it makes you care more about it, you know? You end up very attached to those Pokemon. So I am quite fond of them now. So yeah, for today, I wanted to try and get as many of the 3D games up and running as possible. So I hoped that my usual setup and capture card and everything would work with the Switch 2. Does not seem to. I'll look into that, because there might be a simple fix, or there might be like a new cord that I need, like a different HDMI. I don't know. It's very finicky trying to capture Nintendo software sometimes. But what I could do was put the Legends ZA cartridge into my Switch 1 and capture that. But that's why we are at the very beginning of this game. So I just wanted to, mostly I was testing it to see if it would like run at all. And it does, which is good. But it means that I don't have my save file. I don't know if I might be able to like transfer my save file. I'm a little bit worried about messing with that stuff, to be honest. I don't want to end up losing any data. But we have it, which and it's open world enough that I'm sure I can run around and see some of what we want to look at. But I also might just like skip through all this dialogue, and then as soon as I get to save, I'll just save and we'll put out to like Scarlet Violet. I did not double check which games some of the Pokemon are in. So I know from experience that we have obviously Hoppip, Skiploom, Jumpluff are in Scarlet Violet. That's where I did that research in the past. So if I want to get a little bit of Jumpluff, I know I can do it there. I happen to know that Magnemite and Magneton, from, again, past research, are in Scarlet Violet and Legends Arceus. I don't believe that they're in ZA, because I feel like I would have noticed. But I do know that Beldum and Metang are in ZA and Scarlet Violet, but I don't think they're in Arceus. So yeah, those are the 3 that we're playing around with today. Sometimes I throw in new Snap if I really want an extra angle or something. But yeah, that's enough to keep us busy for probably a couple hours here. You know, and Amara, you definitely don't need to have played X and Y to enjoy this game. Like, if you're considering it, it's got a couple, like, you know, I could do a whole review. I have a lot of good things to say about this game. I have a few criticisms of this game, but overall it's a lot of fun. That much. Like, I'm confident saying I really enjoy it. The gameplay loop and everything, and the interactions you get to have with your Pokemon, and the animations, like, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. Playing X and Y doesn't hurt. Like, it's cool. It's definitely cool to see a continuation of that story. But don't let it stop you. If, you know, that's a much harder game to track down. Yeah, now the biggest problem with this game, as part of, like, the Legends series, is that it does not give you nearly as much information on size as Arceus did. I mentioned a little bit in my video about Hoppip that Arceus is my favorite size research game. And that's because the entire game, every single Pokemon you catch in their summary gives you, like, their exact height to the inch. None of this vague, it's a little small, it's pretty big nonsense. And as far as I know, as far as I recall, oh yeah, I don't have any Pokemon, so I can't look at them. I was gonna say, the entries are pretty unhelpful, I think, in this game. There was a whole... Oh, the lag! By putting this on a Switch 1 and then running it through a capture card, the lag is pretty serious. I'm gonna have to choose a Pokemon starter in a minute. And I'm just trying to decide. I think it's gotta be Chikorita for the sake of size research. That's, typically, like, I'm gonna need... I'm gonna need Chikorita information, so I think I might as well take a Chikorita. Oh, found X and Y a bit too easy and gimmicky. Interesting. I can sympathize. I wouldn't say I ever quite felt that way. I think you would have a problem with if X and Y was starting to cross that line for you, then definitely, like, you might get frustrated with Sword and Shield. And I mean, Scarlet and Violet I really liked, and it was open world enough that you could take some challenging routes and everything. But this game, like, Za is very hand-holdy, unfortunately. Which is one of my biggest criticisms, all things considered, is that, like, it's an open kind of world map, and I just want to run around and do stuff, and they're constantly, like, directing me on where to go. And okay, so while we're all looking here, Tepig, 40 centimeters, Totodile, probably 50, Chikorita is 90. Just saying. This is why I have research to do. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful lineup. Hex yeah. And do I need to... I feel like I should double check my numbers since I'm talking about it. Tepig, I'm quite confident. It'd be embarrassing if I was wrong. Oh my god, I'm wrong! It is a 50 centimeter Pokemon. which I was like pretty sure it was 40, but if I was wrong, it was gonna be 50. Which means compared to Totodile, that's gotta be 60 then, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, Totodile is 60. And Chikorita. A mystery to all. 90 centimeters, 2'11", same height as Flareon. So we can go look into that a little later. The evolutions in this game seem tiny. Like I haven't dug super deep into the evolutions in ZA yet. I might do like a whole stream of that because they seem small. I have a screenshot on my Switch too of Vaporeon standing beside a Houndour. The Houndour is bigger. Vaporeon should be double a Houndour's height. But that's not what we're here for today. I keep putting off the evolution research because I know it's gonna be my Everest, man. It's gonna be like a thesis. And I have to be ready for that. Oh, playing Pokemon taught you English! Amara, that's so cool. The music is pretty good in this game. The Pokemon Company doesn't do research at all. It's a low bar to do more than them. Like, a lot of it comes down to like, I think Chikorita is a really weird one that they've made some odd choices around how it's, like, represented and measured, but there might be a true, like, answer at the end of that tunnel. I can't be certain there will be, but I think there might be. I have lost faith that the evolutions have a real solution, but I think the deeper I go into the style of each generation and the way that they designed their Pokemon in each generation, I think there's still, like, something that can kind of be sussed out. But that one is pretty all over the place between games and between, yeah, I don't... Oh, I know how to play, thank you. Oh my gosh, so weak. No. Take it down. Oh, okay. Take him down. Yay. Actually, listening to the soundtrack is not a bad idea. Not a bad place to start. It's interesting how, like, the music, you hear this track, this, like, just daytime, overworld, you're in Lumio's song so much. Because unlike other games, like, you're not going route to route, you're not going to different towns, they all had their own music in the past. And this is all you have in this game. Like, this is the only city. This is Pokemon Legends ZA. I call it ZA because that skips over the whole ZA ZA issue if you just call it ZA. But yeah, Pokemon Legends. And yeah, and I was shocked that I didn't get sick of this song. Just kept bopping to it. Like the whole, I think I have like 80 hours-ish. Okay, so now that I've done this, will it let me run around? I don't remember. They might force me back to the hotel. They probably force me back to the hotel because they need to teach me about battle zones Actually, is the battle zone gonna start right now? Because I don't want to pour too much time into just doing this introduction right now, today. But I would love to be able to run around a little bit to a few of our wild zones. Oh, actually, I remember now where you can find wild Beldum. And it is very late game. I should have thought this through. But do we have Magnemite? Internet is Magnemite. You'd think that my auto keyboard would know that I mean Magnemite yet. Okay, not in ZA. So, I mean, what I can do is... Well, I mean, it's a shame not to do it on stream with everybody, but I can grab some images on my Switch 2 that I can just, like, export onto my computer for the sake of a video. And we'll just focus on Scarlet and Violet for Beldum and Metang today. But I do know there is one fella. There's a worker on one of the lifts who has a Beldum. And actually there's somebody else roaming in the Magenta district that I came across last night when I was playing, who just has like a wild partner Beldum. So we can go and take a quick look at those and maybe compare them to... I mean, Beldum is the same size as Tepig technically. So that would have been a smart choice maybe to get the Tepig. That's okay. Can't win them all. We can kind of compare it to trainers. Now, what I don't know if there's a, how tall is Za trainer? Because we don't always get, or don't often get, super explicit height measurements for the trainers we play as, which makes it all the more ambiguous when you're trying to measure... Oh, I'll leave it nice. When you're trying to measure a Pokemon like against your trainer as a reference. But sometimes, every now and again, they do provide that information. Hi, Mango! Welcome! We are trapped in the introduction to Pokemon's Legend Za right now, because I wanted to have this as a resource to do some research, but I couldn't get my Switch 2 to stream. So I'm on my Switch 1, but my Switch 1 doesn't have my save file. So we're just doing this until I can save and get out. You mean the battles, Amara? Like I would call it real time. I think so. I'm not quite sure what semi-real time would mean, but yeah, like it's all just like refresh rates and stuff. Okay, let's see if Reddit has an answer to how tall my character is. So this random person on Reddit thinks that you could be about 5'10", which seems tall to me. Where did he want me to go? Yeah, like somewhere in the low 5 feet is pretty standard. And I do think that this trainer is on the tall side compared to previous protagonist players we've had. Often the best that we can do is to like compare it to other Pokemon and find a Pokemon that looks like the same height. You try and look up how tall the protagonist of this game is, and you get a bunch of people on Reddit yelling about how this game is not size accurate. So doing our size research here is going to be fun. You know what? Heracross is not that big. I think Heracross is like 3'3" or something. Okay, Bulbapedia does have a list of human characters with known heights. Where do you want me to go? Ah, hotel, yes. Alright, so maybe we start planning out what I need to find. I think I want to start in Arceus. I haven't been in that game in a bit. I miss it. But that's going to be a good place to start with Magnemite. Oh, okay, and this is why we went far enough to have the Chikoritas, because I want to look at size classification M. So that's what they give us. They give us like small, medium, large, I think. And as far as I know, there aren't any NPCs that will give you any more information than that, except for maybe... Ooh, I don't have a map. Okay, he's not gonna let me leave. Yeah. See, I don't really want to replay this game. Because I just last night finished doing everything I wanted to do. And in the base game, so that I could finally start the DLC. Looking for my Switch case that contains my games. I had it moments ago. What? I know I had it because this wire was inside it. What? I'm apologizing. I'm so confused. was a weird place for me to put it. That's what happens on scatterbrain days. Okay. Oh, okay, you know what? While we're here, I forgot. I don't think I can do the size comparison thing on Switch Pokemon Home. I feel like that's a mobile exclusive. But I just want to, I can look at definitely Magnemite. I don't think I have a Beldum in Pokemon Home yet. But we'll find out. I'm confused as to why I'm not allowed to be logged in on my phone and my Switch. Because how else am I supposed to transfer Pokemon between? It's like the whole point of Pokemon Home. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with sneezing and then disconnecting things by accident. Excellent, excellent. And then I'm gonna hold my phone up for you. So we definitely have Magnemite, no Magneton. And then how I ever transferred. No Beldum. Okay, so part of one of the things that I need to stream with folks. Ugh. Why did chat do that? Why does it do that sometimes? It just like zoomed back half an hour in time. Anyways, one of the things that I want to do that I think will be like a stream project is to get more of my Pokemon Home decks filled out so that I have that as a reference that we can check as often as is useful. And then I can also transfer all of my perfectly average Pokemon to a new file because I want the perfectly average decks in Scarlet and Violet. I want to collect that. It's going to take a long time, but it'll be worth it. Okay. How tall is Geodude off the top of our heads? So one of the best comparisons I can get right now. So I can only compare to Pokemon that I have. So how close can we see this? Will it focus? That is a Magnemite shadow overlaid on top of a Pikachu. Pikachu is 40 centimeters, not counting its ears. Magnemite is 30 centimeters. And so this is clearly like counting the screw on top of its head as part of its height. Which I don't think that there's evidence to support in every game. But that's okay. What I should be interested to see is, I'll take a screenshot of that. And as was the case with Hoppip, it may or may not have changed at some point. I don't know if that's always how they depicted Magnemite in Home. It might be, might not be. But I think I might have references. Okay. So, Magnemite. This is one that I have talked about a number of times on my various accounts before. It is one that I talked about possibly in my original How to Interpret the Pokedex video a couple years back, but definitely I've made individual shorts about it. And the key to this one is similar to Hoppip. Is its body... Oh gosh, I don't remember how to control this game. So, okay. Y is diving. This is my satchel. What I want is my dex. Maybe. No, maybe I want my box. That's my map. Gosh, it has been a while. It's crazy how rusty I feel. Okay, so I think the first things first, I should go back to base. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so the idea, like, does Hoppip's body count for its whole size, or do its leaves count towards that size? Magnemite has the same problem. Is the size of 30 centimeters, 1 foot, just the sphere of its body, or does the screw on top of its head count? Now, I had made the decision, again, this is kind of like Hoppip. Like, years ago, I made my Magnemite and Magneton, and did what bit of research I could, and then decided that it seemed to make the most sense that the body itself is 30 centimeters. And I had my reasons, but I did want to double check what each of the different... It's really hard to tell, honestly. It's a fairly subtle difference to try and gauge 10 centimeters when you're dealing with something as imprecise as the methods we have anyways. But, you know, I do my best to compare it to other Pokemon. Like, okay, what if we pull out a Drifloon? Oh, see? See, this is clearly the last time I played Arceus, as I was already doing my research. So, show me summary. This one's a 10-inch Magnemite, not 12. And 3'8". I believe it should be 3'3". So we might need to go and catch some more. Oh, it's an alpha. 3'8" is a massive Drifloon. Drifloon should be 1'4". So it's okay. So all it comes down to is, first of all, finding representation of the Pokemon that I'm looking for. So in this case, like a Magnemite and a Magneton, as average as possible. And then from there, finding other Pokemon of the same height as average as possible to do our best comparison of like which parts of their bodies line up, if you kind of know what I'm saying. To help us like use that information to figure out which parts of their bodies count towards height or not. So let's see how many Magnemite I have. None. That is the one in my party is the only one that I own. Okay. Well, let's pull out... So one of the Pokemon I can compare it to in home. One of the things I actually have registered. We can compare it to a Geodude. So I guess I'll see how many of those I have and what height they are. We can assume I hope we can assume, that anything in home or in my size collection is going to be perfectly average. Okay. (1'4". Okay, 40 centimeters. We can work with that. Togepi is a 30 centimeter Pokemon. Then the tricky part ends up being like getting them to actually sit side by side, because Togepi doesn't fly, but Magnemite does. Dang, that's a big Geodude. 2 feet. Oh, and we got a couple here. So 1'4". 1'4". I can't recall off the top of my head, but I'm going to assume that that is the standard size of a Geodude. It sounds about right. It is. Excellent. Any chance that Geodude flies in this game, I wonder? And I might pull up, if we've got other, we must have a bunch of Drifloon, because I know that's another flying Pokemon at least. That might be easier to line up with our Magnemite, potentially. Okay, and let's see what heights. We might even have a small Drifloon that ends up 1 foot. That would be very handy. Well, a Cricketot's 1 foot. 1'4". Okay, so I'm gonna pull that out to be like, that's a perfectly average one, and we'll compare it against Geodude if we can. Drifloon's another one that I'm feeling pretty confident on, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more evidence to tell me that it's just its body we're measuring. It would be absolutely minuscule if we counted his arm tendrils, but you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna go ahead and check the rest, as I said, in case we have a small one. That one's smaller, 1'2". Oh, and that's the alpha we were looking at before. Last one. This is my box of evolutions, clearly. Also an alpha. Okay. And this Magnemite was small, right? 10 inches. But we might still be able to use that as, it doesn't have to be perfect, but being off by 2 inches is maybe enough that we can still see generally how they line up. So I will do that if I can remember how. You just stand here, you switch to Pokemon, and then you oh, it does fly. That's awesome. They look like the same body size, don't they? Like maybe Drifloon's Cloud Puff doesn't even count towards its height, actually. Because I don't see any way that Geodude can be misinterpreted. That one feels simple enough. So let's get Magnemite in the mix. Bang. And keeping in mind that this Magnemite is only 10 inches. Compared to 1'4". So we're talking 20 centimeters to 40 centimeters. And I can only conclude that there's no way that the screw counts in this case, right? People can back me up on that, hopefully. Like, if that Magnemite is half the size of that Drifloon, if you count the screw, they're basically the same size. It is not half the size if you count the screw. Like, no way. So, I do think this is one of the things that I used as my evidence when I made up my mind. Here, maybe I can get Magnemite a little bit closer to Geodude. Because again, that's a less ambiguous Pokemon. Now Drifloon's in our way. That's okay. There we go. Okay, and we'll try and like level it out. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that it looks quite right anyways. Like that body is half the size of that body. But it is smaller. Whereas with the screw on top, I don't think it is. Okay. Oh, I'm out of space on my Switch, y'all. Tried to take a video and it said no. Oh man, that's awkward. Okay. Where can I find Magnemite? Because I think I should go and catch a perfectly average one for good measure. And a Magnezone would be nice to look at as well. Because that's one thing that I need to touch on Magnezone if I'm going to make a whole video about this line. Why does it show like I don't have one? There's no Pokeball there, but it says the number I've caught is 2. Oh, it's because I haven't completed the Pokedex. That's how Legends Arceus works. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, Habitat Unknown. Habitat Unknown? Habitat Unknown? But I've caught them. I've caught 2 of them. What? We're Googling it, folks. It's in space-time distortions. That's annoying. Well, I guess I have to go look for it a little bit. Actually. Okay, so we're gonna go into it's a Highlands, no, it's the Coastlands, I believe. Yep. And we're also going to check if I have Magnezone already. I don't think I have another Magneton than the one that's in my party. Cool. But perhaps Magnezone. I should have a couple of those based on the Pokédex entry. And I actually don't know, because he's a totally different shape and everything. He has never felt as relevant to my research. And I actually don't even know off the top of my head. I think Magnezone is another 3-foot something Pokemon. Might be 3'11". It is. It's 3'11". How that is measured, couldn't tell you. But I will try and be able to tell you by the end of today. Width, maybe? My deepest fear is that it's like floating height. That would make me miserable. Okay, 310 of a 3'11 Pokemon is pretty good. So we will take that. And I'll double check the other one just in case it's like actually exactly 3'11. 4'5". So we will take the 3'10". That's very close to average. And I feel like maybe I need a good Pokemon if I'm going to be going into a distortion zone. So I might need to pull my Garchomp back out or something. But let's real quick do the Togepi comparison while I have it in my party. And then we don't need it in the party anymore. You're so cute. Look at you. So yeah, they're not going to line themselves up nicely. But I dare say, oh my gosh, no. Does that Togepi look bigger than that Geodude? For flip's sake. If Geodude is measured from the bottom of his head to the top of his fists when he's in his like default, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm checking my book. It's just it's another source, you know? And I haven't looked at Geodude specifically in here to my recollection. Okay, it's Ugh. Okay, in this book, I can try and hold it up, but it's a tough one to get on camera. At least here we can say he's like in the bubble there. I don't think you'll be able to see the lines very clearly on my camera, but he is 100% like just his head body. Whoop. Measured 40 centimeters in this book. Respect for that. Respect. So now Arceus might have some splaining to do. Actually, did I even check? Maybe my Togepi's not normal. One foot one. That's pretty normal. To 1'4". Like, You're getting to see all my techniques. I'm holding this ruler up to my screen right now. But you gotta stand up, Togepi. It is 1.5 centimeters on screen. Geodude. Geodude. Is freaking 1 centimeter. Arceus was supposed to be my favorite game for size research. What are they doing? But like when his fists are up, that measures that. I cannot tell you, like, I can't stress enough how much every single time I try to look into one specific Pokemon, just finding another Pokemon to compare it to opens its own wormhole of nonsense. So many cans being opened. Now I have to look into Geodude everywhere I go. And what does that mean for me when I compared my Magnemite to it, you know? Or my Drifloon. So that probably means Drifloon is measured with its Cloudpuff. And that's fine. That is a-okay with me. If we look at... It might not be a perfect way to be doing this because I'm not, like, controlling for how far away from, like, the camera they are. But Drifloon's about 2 centimeters. So that tracks with Togepi. So I think it still tracks okay for Magnemite. I can just... It's 1.5 to the screw, which is 30 centimeters. And this is a 20 centimeter Pokemon. So, okay, okay, okay. Okay. So now we can get out Magnezone. Or sorry, we already got Magnezone. What was I gonna pull? Oh yes, a Pokemon that can fight. Now we can pull out... Who did I have in my party when we started this journey? Oh, we can bring Dialga. That'll do. Okay. Now we go to the coastlands. We see about any distortion. If we can get 1 or 2 distortions would be great. This is what Magnezone looks like. $3'11". 3'11". And okay, so as a trainer, this is another ambiguous one, but in Arceus, she is again in like the mid 5s. I think I saw her the same height, like 5'3" to 5'5", 5'6", something like that. So right off the bat, we can see Magnezone is floating. Well, like the top of its kind of body or whatever you're gonna call that is floating close to the top of my head, not quite, but I would say like 5 feet-ish up. The top of its antenna is above me altogether, so that's good. Well, all this confirms that at least it is not floating at 3'11", and that's a win. That's a good start. I'm not sure what more I can really do. I can maybe get out the ruler again with another Pokemon, because there's a possibility that like bottom of body to top of antenna is the... That doesn't look quite... Actually, that might be about 4 feet if my trainer's a little over 5. it could also potentially be a width thing. We'll see about this. We'll see. Oh, look, there's a mass outbreak of Starly. Now. Oh, the pastures are nearly full. There's a lot of upkeep to do in these games. Maybe we just do some upkeep streams. I don't know. I think like distortions just happen. If I run around for a little bit, it'll tell me. So I think what we can do is try and figure out if there's anything else in the Highlands that would be helpful to me right now. Who else lives here? I mean, there's always Fields. Duskull could be an interesting one. I think Duskull is only 50 centimeters. Oh, no, it's 80. I mean, Remoraid also floats. Mantike floats. I wonder what size Quillfish is. The more things that we can get as lined up as neatly as possible. Alright, hey, have a good sleep, Amara. Thanks for coming by. You can always see the VOD to find out how it ends, but you know what? It'll be in a video soon where the research ended up. So, appreciate you hanging out. Quillfish is 1'8", 50 centimeters. Which means I could probably find one that's 1'4". Reasonably, possibly. So let's go to Tranquility Cove, Lunker's Lair. If I remember where the heck those are. I think I remember where to find Quillfish though. And we'll just catch a bunch. I don't recall there being a system in this game to see its approximate size before you catch it. Like in Scarlet Violet, they'll at least tell you if it's, like, what category it is. You can kind of unlock that. Oh, you're an alpha. Gosh, I wish I remembered how to play this game. Okay, here are my Pokeballs. And you gotta throw stuff. You gotta throw these. I want this Mantine. Oh. A shiny! Everybody calm down. We did it. We got a shiny Shellos. That was so random. They're so cute. I like Shellos a lot. I'm gonna make a Gastrodon one of these days. Oh, and you know what? I should do YouTube things. So like, hey, if you're here, if you're having fun, make sure you like the stream. If you want to make sure you'll find out about the video that I make about the research we're doing, you might want to subscribe to the stream. And I do have a yarn fund going at the bottom there. That's something that I run on Coffee. It's a secret yarn fund right now because I only technically haven't released, officially revealed what the project is yet, but I have teased it. And it'll be officially announced in the next day or two. But yeah, that is the next very, very large project that I am working on. If you would like to contribute, help me afford the yarn that it takes to make these giant projects, that's what that is for, and you can follow the QR code to do that. Okay, this is where I thought Quillfish lived, was somewhere around here. Am I in... oh, the cove is up here. Yeah, Lunker's Lair is where I am. I can also go to Islespy Shore. The lag that I get from streaming is a little bit unfortunate. Hard to see what you're doing in water to begin with. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how common distortions are. They seem pretty frequent when I'm playing casually. But if we go through like a day cycle and we don't get one, then I think I might just give up and move on to Scarlet and Violet. I gotta say, I'm actually really keen now to see... Do we have Geodude in Scarlet and Violet? I feel like we do? Oh, I guess I should go farther. Ooh, this way. It's so funny how accustomed you can get. Maybe it has to be daytime. Maybe that's part of the problem. Okay. Quillfish. You're an alpha, so that doesn't actually help me, but... Ooh. You there. You're who I want. Okay. Well, this is a good way to get hurt. I'm so rusty at this game. Yes, you. Okay, guess I better dip. Everything's mad at me. So we got one. No way of knowing what size it is. Actually, we might even have decent sized ones at home, to be honest. Because we didn't check beforehand, but... Now we have more chances of it being the right size. So, I'm not going to heal. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, I'm not going to heal until I'm not being targeted. Such an interesting phenomenon is, I guess, what I was starting to say, that I used to play this game a lot, and I felt very, like, fluent in the controls, and I felt very comfortable with all of it, and then you play a different game, and all of a sudden, this game somehow feels so clunky and awkward. Meanwhile, when I was first learning how to play Legends, it felt terrible, so... Must be coming up on sunrise soon? Maybe? It shows in the top corner there what time of day it is, but I don't know if it tells me how soon. That looks like the sun is rising. Then at least we won't have so many ghosts out on the sea. What's that? Oh, dripping. Well, something sounds angry at me. think there was any way to like spawn a distortion or to increase the odds of getting one. All I know how to do is to kill time, bide my time. If I change the order of my items, does it change the order that I get to throw them? I think it must. Aha! How did I never figure that out in hours of playing this game? That's gonna be game changing. See you, Basket Legion. It was so obvious as soon as I tried. Okay, we got some splish splashers over here. You look like quillfish. Oops, those are not mud balls. Oh, heck, man. I don't like catching on the water, where I can't dodge roll and stuff. Too many creatures. Well, surely that's daylight. So the ghosts should go away now. Look at the happy little Celio. I have completed but not perfected this Pokedex entry. Oh, but we're gonna make some progress, we are. We're gonna feed the buddy. Ha. This is a good way to kill time while we wait for distortion. Feeding the Celios. Oh, you know what else? Put a long list of stuff that I want to make. Like videos and research and all that. And so I want to do a video on Celio at some point as well. Actually, if I can get any shots of Celio and Spheal side by side, that would be baller. I don't know if Spheal spawn on this beach. Or if Celio spawn on the other beach. Either way. Oh, he's so stuck and confused. There we go. A full... okay, and what else? Like, the other stuff I had to do to you was sad. It was like knocking you out with rock types and defeating you. Although catching heavy species, I gotta catch more of them anyways. And you look like a biggin. Cool. No? And that made you mad? Why didn't you get caught, though? You could have just been my Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're trying another Great Ball. I've gotten so awkward at this. Ultra Ball, let's go. Okay. Ooh, and you know what else? Once we catch another Magnemite or two, then I can evolve my small Magnemite, because I am curious how size works between, like, throughout evolution. So the Magnemite we have right now, it's being 10 inches, is like an extra small. So if I evolve it, it'll still be extra small, right? And will it be 2 inches small? Or will it be, oh my gosh, look at you, you're bigger than a wall ring. Or will it be, like, proportionally, like, you know, 1/6 small? Do I have any other balls? Like heavy balls? Gigaton balls? Nope. Cool. That'll be a heavy one. I don't need the wrath of either of these Pokemon. Just passing by. I wonder how close to full my ranch was. So I'll catch a few more Celio while I'm here. And if I can't line up Seal and Celio in the wild, I know I can do it at home because I have a bunch of both. The pastures are full. Wow. Well. Okay. So, if the pastures are full and I can't even catch my Magnemite, then I think I'm just gonna call it. How do I? Yeah. We're just gonna save. I'm gonna clean out my pastures some other time. And we're gonna switch over to Scarlet and Violet right now. I just saved. Nice. Okay. Unless I should double check before I leave the game entirely. Beldum. Legends. Arceus. Okay. Not in there. I don't think Hoppip was either. Okay, well, into Scarlet and Violet it is then. Okay, now Scarlet and Violet should have everything we're looking for. We need to find the Magnemite line and the Beldum line. I certainly have all of these Pokemon. Whether or not they're perfectly average, I will have to double check. I'm pretty sure we're going to spawn in right in front of that size check lady. Usually do. And then maybe I throw in a Geodude if it's in here. I feel like most Pokemon are in Scarlet Violet. We have so many. We have 3 different Pokedexes. All of them are complete. Yes, because you know what? I'm missing Golem in my Blueberry Dex, if I'm remembering correctly, which means that I definitely have a Geodude. Where am I? I mostly remember how to play this game because I've played it more recently, but I'm still not... Okay. So it's not that button. Is it this button? Yes. And we're gonna fly back to home. Yeah, west. Let's go to west. So the only thing about this game, well, a couple things, I guess. So, like, we don't get to see their exact measurements, which is a shame, because it's really cool getting to do that in the other game. But the picnics also, they don't station the Pokemon in one spot the way that we saw just now in Arceus. So, I can summon a Pokemon and put it in one spot, like one at a time beside me, but I can't line up a bunch of my Pokemon in a picnic without having them scamper around. So that's the biggest challenge. Okay, so let's start with Magnemite. Okay, so this one should be perfect because I have actually given it a marking there. The star is usually how I indicate something I have found to be perfect. Sweet. So here's what we're gonna... Honestly, I need to do some like box inventory management in this game as well. Because I'd like to start sorting, like, are all of these Pokemon perfect? No, they're not all perfectly average. So I need to start sorting by the ones that are. And I have very little box space left in this game either. Oh, it's time to start moving things to Pokemon Home just to make space. Oh, we got someone new. The clerk, hello. Hello and welcome. Oh gosh, if you haven't played a game since Ruby Sapphire, yeah, there's a lot going on. But most importantly, what's going on is that we can line them up beside each other and check out their sizes. So I am going to search. So, I mean, if first time here, welcome. I do this type of thing because I crochet Pokemon life size accurate to the Pokedex, and that is not as obvious of a size as you might think. Like, it often seems like there's a size, awesome, I know how big it is, but then I start lining them up in these games and everything gets a little bit confused. I was just in Legends Arceus and found Geodude to not make any sense how it was measured, so now I have to find a Geodude in this game, line it up against something else that's 40 centimeters tall. It's just an endless process, really. Okay, so we do not have a perfectly average Magneton. That's a bummer. My options are to catch a bunch more Pokemon or possibly to breed a bunch of Magnemite. I don't have as many experience candies as I used to because I actually burned a bunch of them doing raids with friends. But I could still evolve a Magnemite pretty quickly, I imagine. But catching a Magneton would be easier. So we'll start with that. And we'll get you checked out as well. Oh, no. Let's talk to the lady. So yes, this is I don't think we even had this type of NPC back in Gen 3 because we didn't have overworld models of all our Pokemon, but there is size variance, like you can see with her Pachirisu there, and she will tell me, oh, okay, gold standard for normal Magnezone. Score. So I am going to give it a marking. Cool. And we'll start looking out for where. How do I want to do this? Okay. Go into the Pokedex. Which Pokedex was Magneton in? We'll go alphabetical. Oh, cool. Okay, so you've seen some videos. You know the gist of what we're about here. Yeah, it takes a bit. Takes a bit of work. So, let's see. Magneton flies high in the sky on rainy days. That's a big area to scan. And I don't honestly remember catching a Magneton. I don't remember what that looks like. So we're gonna look up a guide. We're gonna eat like a metal sandwich or something. Game data. Okay, it says North Providence. Oh, we can get them in raid battles. If I come across a raid, that might not be a bad idea. I wonder if there's any kind of guarantee size out of raids. Chargestone Cavern sounds like a good place to look. Maybe I will go there. Because I know I did some of my research trying to get pictures of them there. So that means we go. I am re-familiarizing myself with all these controls. The Chargestone Cavern is roughly here. I don't remember how to enter it, but yes, of course, as I said, my boxes are getting kind of full. So what I might need to do is I want to start transferring Pokemon into Pokemon Home as well to just start filling out that Pokedex so I can make better comparisons there. So I'm going this way. Where is me? Am I on this map? You'd think. Oh, I'm the Rotom, maybe? Guys, why can't I see myself? Well, oh. Hey, maybe it's that giant opening there. Okay. Yeah, I want to start transferring a bunch of Pokemon into Home, get that Pokedex filled out. And that would help clear box space. So that's an option. I don't know if people would have any interest in streams that dull, but I might do it on stream just because I'm not likely to do it off stream. Okay, so tons of electric types. But I probably should. Nope. Nope. Buttons. Make like a steel type sandwich. And I have no idea what does that, so we're just gonna flick through. This is so tedious. I wish there was a filter for effect. It would be so helpful. Encounter power steel! Doing it. Oh my gosh. The game is chugging a little bit. That frame rate is not amazing, but we do our best. It's massively like blown out too. It's just white. Where does the bread end and the plate begin? You done? Yay! No! It's fine, the bread didn't disappear. It's still part of the sandwich. Oh, gee whiz. Okay. I don't know what's doing that to the lighting. Is it like the charred stone pillars? I don't know. There we go. That's what the sandwich looks like. Peppers and cucumber and potato salad on bread. Might not be terrible. You just like squoosh out when you took a bite. Okay. Take a look at our Magnezone while we're here. Now, okay. So I do believe this trainer is a little bit shorter than the Legends Arceus trainer. I think she is like five foot? Like maybe 5'3" tops, because she did look about the same height as my Slowbro once, but shorter. And we do have some official heights for some of the characters in this game, like Penny and Nimona. So we know she is significantly shorter than 5'7" because Nimona is 5'7". That being said, what does this tell me about Magnezone? 3'11", perfectly average Magnezone. Also floating higher than my head, so we're good beans on that. But is it? Did I snap that shot? Stop moving. Hi, Goldingo. Stop moving. Okay, picnic's over. I need to remember the button for there was like a stand still button. Okay, that's good. That's a nice shot. So what I'm wondering is what is... If we say that my trainer is about 5 feet, what is approximately 4 feet? Let's get a shot where, yeah, right at the peak. And is it the bottom of its magnets? That's what I want to know. Anyways. Oh, jeez. The frame rate struggle. Okay. I think I'm gonna catch... Ugh, I barely even have Ultra Boost. Lame. Okay, I see a Magneton behind me. I might have to go buy some Ultra Balls. Wowzer. You are no longer worth my effort. What? What is this? Prevents escape. Cool. Well, I do have some level hundos with me. What, because of Magnet Pull? Then what am I supposed to do? Oh, stop stalling. Just KO me already. Or get caught. Get caught's another option. There we go. Okay. So, what I need to start looking at is... So, first of all, I'm going to get a different Pokemon in lead. Let's get Goldengo out there. Next, I can target Pokemon. So that could be an average size. Could be average. I saw a Magneton back here. Could be average. So unfortunately, I wish there was a way that we could, like, you know, see the summary and find out, but we're just gonna have to catch a bunch and then take all of them back to Mezzagoza and ask. They're formed by several Magnemite linked together. They frequently appear when sunspots flare up. So this is why when I first kind of did my round of research, it's a lot like Hoppit, where it's been kind of all over the place how Magnemite has been portrayed, but using that kind of information, like that Magneton is just Magnemite linked up, I felt it made the most sense to use a measurement that made, like, I found a way that the size measurement of both Magnemite and Magneton could work together without the size of Magnemite changing. So that when you're just combining them and calling it a new Pokemon, they don't have to have changed sides for that to work. And that's part of what I want to look at. I want to line up average Magnemite and Magneton and see if they're the exact same size, like if the individuals of Magneton are still matching the size of what Magnemite is. That's one of the things we need to figure out here today. See if I can find one or two more. Oh, I'm doing blueberries research. more Magnemite. There you are. Okay, now that one's extra large, so I'm just gonna skip over it. Had the little icon when I targeted it to indicate that it was large. So the ones that I've been catching, I believe, can still be a little bit large or a little bit small, but they're guaranteed that they're not like huge or tiny. That one looks small to me. Yeah, that's just a little guy. And if we don't see any more, I might just catch a couple more Magnemite in hopes of getting a perfectly average one of those. And then evolving it. Yeah, see, I think it would make sense if they all just kept their base size, right? Could it just be RNG? I mean, I think... like, there's RNG about what size range, like, Pokemon spawn. But I think in terms of, like, finding... oh, here's a couple. Yeah, there we go. But there has to be kind of, like, base metrics in the program, right? Like, of defaults before they have their modifiers put on them. Oh, I could use Dusk Balls too. I just feel like any of the attacks that I have might just KO it. Darn. I can see what Make It Rain does. It would be not very effective. Oh yeah, that's totally fine. I have 3 Master Balls. Holy moly. I don't have very many Dusk Balls either. Oh, I have Quick Balls. That's why I don't have Ultra Balls. It's because I have Quick Balls. Forget how to do things in this game. I didn't have Quick Balls when I was playing in Arceus just a minute ago. But it's too late for that now. There we go. Okay, that's one more. We'll see if the one behind me is still there. And we'll use a Quick Ball on it. Okay. There we go. This is how you do it. Okay, so here's hoping that one of those is average. And then we'll see about if there's another Pokemon I can compare it to. Magneton, 3'3", and I do have a small collection of 3'3" Pokemon. Umbreon comes to mind. Mudspray is also 3'3", and I know I looked into having one of those before. What would be a useful 3'3" Pokemon that flies is a more interesting question. I'm going to be pulling up Bulbapedia's Pokemon by size list. I love this page. And we can just look into who is. That's 311. Okay, my 3'3" Pokemon. A Weepin' Bell. Weepin' Bell flies. Oh my god, Ladybug. Ladybug is 3 foot. Holy heck! Is Ladybug in this game? Beautifly. Lunatone. Lunatone would be a good one. Something that I can line up beside my Magneton nicely is what we're looking for. Varoom. Varoom is a 3'3". Interesting. Okay, so we are going to start off. Organize the box for the Pokemon we just caught. Okay, did we only catch one Magnemite? I guess I didn't catch... I thought I caught 2. Okay, oh well. Search Magneton. This lag is crippling on menus. Okay. Get one in the party. Get the rest into noticeable box. Okay, we have 4 of them. They are all in the range of normal, so hopefully one of them is perfect. Please. Just start with the one in the party. A little bit small, okay. There we go. Okay. So that was a level 69, the one. Yeah, this first one here. Give it a marking. You are perfect. And put you in the party. Okay, so we have perfectly average. I guess I could keep jump left for the sake of footage. Okay, so we have all of those 3. Now let's see. What was I just looking up? If we have perfectly average of a Lunatone or a Ladybug? Okay, so Ladybug's not in this game. I had a feeling that I would remember if I had seen a Ladybug. Is Lunatone in the game? No. So what else should I compare it to? Wartortle, Beedrill, Venonat. How about Weepin' Bell? What? No Weepin' Bell? Well, that's disappointing. Do I have a perfectly average Bellsprout? I don't have even a Bellsprout! Okay. Jeez. I mean, I know I have the Vaporeon and the Sylveon and the Umbreon. I'm sorry, Basculin? Basculin? Riunculus. That could work. I feel like there's not a lot of ambiguity here either. Like, that should be a fairly straightforward measurement. What are the odds that it's perfect? Heck yeah! Okay. So, I think what we'll do... If I can find a good, perfectly average 1-foot Pokemon to compare to Magnemite, and then we've got a Riunculus to compare to Magneton, we've got them to compare to each other, then we can go have our picnic. So... what I've done in the past was I used Minior. Do I have a perfectly average Minior marked? I have so many Minior that honestly I should release some. I was just hunting for certain colors and shinies and whatnot. There's a button to like do multiples at once. Judge. Judge. Draw selection box. Oh, interesting. Now I'm sure one of these is going to be average. The slight problem, actually, it'd be great if I could find... because Minior itself is a little bit unclear whether its spikes count or just its body. Blossom is actually 40 centimeters, Callan. I do have a Rowlet that I know is perfect because I use that as a really good measurement a lot of the time. I'm just looking for something else that flies if possible, so it'll be easier to match up. Actually, while I'm... Solosis? If I'm going with that line anyways, what size is Solosis? Okay, we've got Castform, Sunkern, Starly, Kricketot, Combee, Rotom. That's actually, I thought Rotom was 20. Cottony's a nice choice, maybe. Maybe I'll go with... And Solosis. Also an option. Cottony and Solosis. And ideally also a Rockstar said it many times moment go. Minior. Okay. Like, on so many. Holy flip. None of these have the perfect marking, but I may not have gone through all my Minior. Got my Hoppip. I wonder if I have any other Solosis. Yeah, I've got a couple. Okay. So there's one. There's the one I moved. And I guess I just start asking willy-nilly about Minior. So I'd love to get to the bottom of that one too. What's wild is that I remember the last time I looked into it thinking that only the body and not its 5 spikes counting seemed to be what I was seeing. But that bothered me because when it's in its like the defensive form before its shell breaks, the body's thicker because there's a shell over it. And they... Darn. Okay. No perfect Solosis. Maybe we hatch some eggs while we're at a picnic anyways. But yeah, if it hasn't broken its shell, then it shouldn't be the same size. But it was. There we go. That's all it took. So that's something. And what egg group Rankless is in? Do I need to bring my Ditto or can I just... Duosion is 60 centimeters. Of course, if I... crab. Amorphous. It's in the amorphous egg group. And nothing in my party can currently breed with it. Okay, well then maybe I will sub in my Rowlet for now. Okay, which one of you is the perfect Rowlet? And then we'll see if, like, any of them land. I don't think Magnemite lands. I don't think Minior lands. But we'll see. And if not, maybe we can do the old ruler trick. Measuring them on screen. Okay. It's picnic time. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can't have picnics inside the city. But have I tried? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Big moment. I'm always trying to figure out like a spot on the map that I can consistently be like, this is my picnic spot because it's level, because it's clear, and I never really found one, but here it looks pretty good. And it's so close to the lady who tells me what size they are. Okay, I'm a little nervous to see what we see here, but bring it. Hey, buddy. You're cute. Just start off with some very, very basic comparison shots. Can't talk to them from inside of them. Okay. Oh, you're side by side. Okay. That looks... Ooh, it's hard to say. Are they the same? Or did it get slightly bigger when it evolved? Angles and everything, you know? It's... oof. So my main techniques are like just approaching them best I can, but then like whistling them to try and line them up. Ugh, they don't always stay for very long. Rowlet does fly sometimes. That's nice of him. And I feel like maybe they are the same size, eh? So one thing that I can do... Here, I'm gonna take some shots with my trainer. And I'll try and like intersect the Pokemon a little bit when I take these shots, as like confirmation of depth. How far away I am from a Pokemon or not. Dude, I feel like they look the same, don't they? And then we got Minior showing up. Nice, nice. And Rowlet flying by. So I think the body of Minior looks like the same as the body of Magnemite. Which means that with its spikes, it's probably the same height as Magnemite with its screw. It's the Rowlet flying by that got me thinking, though. It looks like maybe Rowlet, our perfect 30-centimeter boy, does measure up, like again, like we're talking like with spikes, with screw. Okay. Okay, okay, look at you two, side by side. I have some questions about these two being the same size. Magneton flies so low. Can you slow down, bud? Trying to get myself out of the way for these comparisons is tricksy. I don't think I got the like screen capture there, but knowing that this is all being recorded, I feel like I might have gotten a good angle there between the two of them. Like, is it this Magneton just looks small beside Reuniclus, is all I'm really able to totally process. But I think it okay, yeah, okay. So if we're looking at very bottom of magnets to very tippy top of magnets, like the largest dimension you can find on Magneton, that seems to line up with Reuniclus. So that's good. That's in line with what I've done in the past. Now what's tricksy, like you, 3'11" over here. Compared to Reuniclus. Reuniclus, come here. Come here, bud. Looks taller, I think. Look at them. Which means... could mean a couple things. Okay, it could mean the antenna on top counts. It could mean that we're looking maybe from like the bottom of those magnets. I'm getting the still shot back up. Okay. So what we're seeing is, it's not a perfect lineup, but it's not bad. Knowing that Magnezone is about half a foot bigger than Reuniclus here. So something bottom of Magnezone's like body seems to maybe the top of its screws looks like maybe roughly lines up with Reuniclus. So if we count the antenna on top, that might be a really good 3'11". I'm going back for the pictures I took in our first picnic of me standing inside Magnezone. Okay. And I'm pulling out the old ruler. My feet are slightly cut off, which is unfortunate. But if I hold this up to my screen, my trainer is 7 centimeters tall. So let's say she's about 5 feet. That means every centimeter is 0.7 feet. So, Magnezone, the 4 feet of Magnezone would be about 5.7 centimeters on this ruler in this picture. So if I find which part of him is 5.7 centimeters, bottom of body to top of antenna is looking very plausible. Alternatively, bottom, like lowest tip of a magnet, a la Magneton's measurements, to top of body is also looking viable. Total distance a la Magneton, like bottom of magnet to top of antenna, is the same height as my trainer. So that we can rule out. I should be taking notes in my notebook. Magnezone, not largest dimension. So now I guess I might need do I have any pictures from the other direction? If I can get him like squared up against the camera to help see if it could be a width thing, because I don't want to rule out width. Speaking of width, I should try my best to double check Reunclus while we have image here. Again, my feet are kind of cut off, but I'm gonna say still around 7 centimeters. And Reunclus, ooh, oh no, oh no. Bottom of body to tip of ear looks like 4.5 centimeters. Math. So that's like no wait, no, sorry, that's 3'3". And I was gonna be like, that's only 3'3", but Reunclus is supposed to be 3'3". Guys, the math worked. How do we like that? So bottom of body to top of ears? Question mark. Reunclus, spot on, confident about that answer. Liking it. So why don't we pull up Magnemite and try and do this? Like just a nice clear shot of trainer and Magnemite would be good. Okay. We've also got this one pulled up, and it's got it. That includes screw, doesn't it? It's like 2.5 centimeters. That's like 2 and a bit centimeters. So, I mean, there's a wonky angle going around here, but it seems like the closest dimension would be like Rowlet's body to Magnemite, including the screw on top of its head, which is a bummer. But these things happen. Sorry, just blowing out a candle that I had running beside me. Okay. But I am still looking for, like, this confirmation would be nice if I can get it. So again, we're looking at, yeah, that's around 2 centimeters. Although, this is a tricky one, actually. Because Minior is seems too big. Like, not the same height as Magnemite. Sideways is a good way to measure Minior, though. So tip to tip, that's 2 centimeters. That's like 1.5. But I guess I'll give it benefit of the doubt in this case because Minior is closer to the screen. So if I measure my trainer one more time. Okay, yeah, it's like I'm double checking her height every time, but it's always about 7 because they seem to keep a consistent distance between the camera and the trainer, so she will always be about the same size on my screen. Which means if 7 centimeters is 5 feet, then 1 foot is 1.4 centimeters. So Minior should only be 1.4 centimeters, which is just the body, y'all. It's only the body. Okay. Why does none of this seem to be lining up with each other? So, okay. What have I processed so far is Magnemite seems like with screw. We will maybe... Do I have a good picture as I keep flipping of me and Magnemite? No, that's my last picture. So I still need to get one more clean shot of that. Magnemite compared to Minior. The body alone is about 1.4, which is what I would expect with her being about 5 feet. But here Minior's body is bigger than that. So maybe I just need a couple more good shots with these two. Because their bodies still look very, 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 very similar size to me. So that means maybe that means without that, just their bodies are 30. Magnemite and Minior are very similar, just body. But Rowlet seems to be throwing that off a little bit. I mean, if Rowlet's a little bit closer than Magnemite is, he's I don't know, 2.2 on the screen right now, and Magnemite's 1.5. Like that's a pretty big difference. And Rowlet's never led me astray before this moment. Wish I could see my feet. So in this particular picture, from what I can, from the bottom of the frame to the top of her head is 7 centimeters, and we definitely can't see her feet there. So this is a little bit off in this case. But a 3'3" Magneton would be about 4.5 centimeters. And that just move my camera this way. Goodbye. Amateur streamers, am I right? Okay, I just want my camera on that side of the computer so that I have more space to hold my ruler up. Yes, I'm a Butterfingers. Thanks for noticing. I'm looking for a 4.5 centimeter. It seems big. Like, okay, knowing that my scale of the trainer is a slightly off from that 7 centimeters, like with rounding, I still think that largest dimension, like bottom of magnet to, it's hard to say either top of magnet or top of screw, is about right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty okay. So, still feeling okay about Magneton. Feeling questionable about Magnemite and Rowlet. But feeling like just one Magnemite out of this Magneton. Body size, like 1.7. And then this Magnemite on the right-hand side. Body size 1.5. Like, it's very close if they're not the same. They are very close. Okay, so let's see if we can get a couple more close-ups. Maybe just one-on-ones outside of a picnic even. Me with my Magnemite and my Magneton. And then Rowlet. We gotta get Rowlet next to Magnemite or Minior. And then let's see if, oh, I want the Solosis. I can still pull out Solosis once I find a perfectly average one of those in place of Rowlet potentially. And then we can also see about finding another 3'11" Pokemon to put beside Magnezone. That would be, again, looking for something that can fly. Weezing is an interesting one. Weezing, I've been curious about how it's measured for a while now, so it'd be good to pull that one out regardless. But Weezing does hover very close to the ground in this game for reasons I don't understand. I don't like how far over I moved this. That'll do. Fortress. Fortress might be the way to go. And I should have a good handful of those, hopefully, because I remember doing a bunch of mass outbreaks of Fortress when I was looking for the, they have a name for the cursed item Pokemon. It's going to bother me that I don't remember that. Pelipper is also an option. Metang is an option, and we need to look at Metang. We were supposed to look at Metang today regardless. It's already been a couple hours. This is always how my research goes. Messy, messy, messy. Frillish is an option. Is that? They might not be in this game. Same size as Screamtail. That's fun. Oh, and Goldingo. And Iron Moth. Okay. So I could pull out. My favorite options are Iron Moth. Metang seems like an obvious choice. And Fortress. whatever I have of one of those that is perfectly average, we'll start with there. Oh, Driftbloom also. And Vespiquen. It's a lot of fun 311 Pokemon. I'll write down Weezing too. If we're doing like a whole picnic of 511 Pokemon, might as well have that one in there. So, okay. What did I just say? Better shots of them side by side if I can finagle it. Better one-on-one shots of me with all of these Pokemon would be good. And Rowlet. Okay. Back in. Look at them all. So sleepy. I'm always trying to find that angle where they're all this equidistant from the camera. Rowlet just flapping around, causing me headaches. That feels pretty evensies, right? Oh my goodness. They're intersecting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh my god, they're the same size. That was perfect moment. Forever grateful. That was great. Okay. Life-size Kangaskhan with inch-thick rope. Got a particular reason you want to see that, Isaac? Why the inch-thick rope? That just sounds challenging to work with. Hey, Rowlet. You here to mess with me, bud? Oh great, you're asleep too. I mean, these two are pretty nicely lined up, so I like those pictures. Let's get right centered between these two. Best I can. And then square up. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing. Aw. Thanks, Isaac. My pleasure. I wanted it to bring joy, and knowing that it does makes it all worthwhile. And I'm glad to have you popping in here. Welcome. As you can see, I've got a picnic going on. And I just feel like Rowlet is not making sense to me right now. And he was always my guy. So I do think that when he stands, it really covers a lot of his feet. So I think it's reasonable to measure without his feet, potentially. Thank God we're filming, right? You get these perfect moments. At least it's all captured on the VOD, even if I didn't snap this picture in time. So, from what's happening right now, this is silly. They're all moving. I'm just gonna... I appreciate it when they fall asleep, so at least they stop zooming. some some things are necessary. Okay. Okay. So, however, the height of my trainer, look, even she's asleep. The height of my trainer is somewhat irrelevant right now because these Pokemon were pretty nicely squared up to the screen, and I'm just going to measure them as they are. So, just the body of Minior is 2.5 centimeters. Just the body of Rowlet is like almost 4. We'll say 3.5. If I count the spikes, we get to like 4. I feel like Rowlet's taller when it flies somehow. Oh, actually, did I get a picture? Whoops, no. When they were all on top of each other there. Oh my god, look at them. Twinsies. Can we all agree that those are the exact same size? Like, I don't wanna sound like I'm just not using accurate, precise measurements and I'm just eyeballing it, but like, those are the exact same model, right? And that's really cool. That the model, like, they literally just took 3 of the Magnemite model. Oh my gosh, I have to make a video measuring all the Pokemon in bananas now, don't I? For reasons, I do believe that in my household, there is a 3D printed banana ruler. I think that's a thing that exists in this household. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to talk to Rowlet. Look at him waddle. So cute. So... you come above... well, I guess to the knee. Yeah, the problem with when I try and get my whole trainer in shot, like shoes and everything, I just feel like the angle's not right. If I want to be like face on, it just gets cut off a little bit. You silly owl. You wanna do a Magnemite for me and just like land right inside one of these 2 Pokemon? I mean, at least they're both very lined up with me in that shot. Okay, there's a snoozy Rowlet now. And they're very, like, kind of on top of each other. But when he's that short, I can't like square up the camera without losing pieces of him off the bottom. Okay. Well, Rowlet from ground to bottom of knee. Let's see if I can find a way to like measure Magnemite in terms of knees. Okay, I think that's it for this picnic. I know, if I could just pick them up and place them, it would solve so many problems. And you can... I mean, I might be able to do that a bit in like in post. If I start like scaling pictures to each other and then cutting pieces and, you know, like Photoshop-y shenanigans. That looks like a Duosion outbreak. Duosion is not Solosis. But that should be this like the right spawn area. So I just want to find a perfect Solosis. And then once I've done that, we can move on to the 311 Pokemon. Are you Duosion? You are, aren't you? Yeah. You look Solosissy. Yeah, there, that. Shields. That nonsense. I still want to wait. Thank you. Okay, now I did knowingly come to a Duosion spawn, hoping to find something different than a Duosion. So maybe if I just take a step in a different direction. Is there no run button in this game? Oh, Piplup is 40 centimeters, isn't it? I know so many Pokemon heights plus or minus 10 centimeters. Like, yeah, Piplup's 40, but it'd be fascinating to see Piplup beside the Rowlet. Rowlet's been my size goat for so long, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I figure out something's wonky with him. And that's one of the worst parts of what it is I do here, is that every time you feel like you've got an answer, it's only a matter of time until something comes along and makes you realize that that research may have been flawed. And then you start questioning everything you thought you knew. Who do I have with me that's good for catching? Nothing. My Rowlet is my highest level Pokemon. Hey, we'll get to see them in battle together, sort of. They do look pretty same size. We don't know yet if this one is perfectly average or not. Alright. Another one or two would be Swell. That looks like Duosion. Yeah. Where are you, my blobby friend? My sphericalish, globular friend. Did I just say female? Yeah. That doesn't seem to be extra large or extra small. No. Okay, one more. That's all my duosions. So now you can see, like, it's not that I can do research this way. It's worth doing, and it's not terrible, but if I had that living perfectly average dex and I could just pull out any Pokemon I want on a whim, it would really speed up the process. Of course, with each session that I do the slow way, we're getting closer and closer. Bit by bit, I am building up my perfectly average dex. Alright. Let's go ask about these bad boys. Yep. Pardon me. A little bit small. Perfect. Okay. Here, I'll start off by marking that one before I lose it. Awesome. And I'm gonna swap that out for... Hello, son. My cat has arrived. Everyone say hello to Hans. I think maybe Reunclus can leave the party for now. Now he's gonna sit here for a bit. This is where he lives. Okay, so now that'll be a good picnic. I hope I'm not, you can still, yeah, my audio should still be fine. That'll be a good picnic. All I need is, hey, I wonder how many Piplup I own. One. Hey, might as well ask. Throw that in the party. Because that's what's cool about if I'm trying to build my perfectly average decks, I have more of it than I realize, you know? There's a lot of Pokemon that if I just take the time to ask, she'll tell me are perfect. Okay, and Piplup. Maybe Magneton. I feel like we've learned what we need about Magneton. Okay, so I guess I will do this picnic. And then we'll start hunting down the 311 averages. It'd be really interesting, actually, a lot of work, but really interesting to do like a comparison of every Pokemon to every Pokemon. By size category, right? Every perfectly average 1-foot Pokemon compared to each other lined up nicely. And then every 1'4" Pokemon, then every 1'8" Pokemon, and like go through them all. No one's gonna do it but me, I'll tell you that. No one else is spending that much time throwing picnics. Okay, moment of truth. How is this gonna shape out for Solosis? And Rowlet. Ah, gee whiz. Okay. Okay. Right off the bitty bat. Unless... What if Solosis is measured by just the inside part and not the goo layer? Here I thought I was picking such like an obvious choice. But what if? Flippin' what the if? Can you stop running away, friend? Can you stop running away, friend? I'm trying to compare you to people. Okay, now Minier, fall asleep. Fall asleep. Fall asleep. Actually, did I see that right? They might not be as different as I thought they were. It's getting dark in my room to read this ruler, but I was about 2.5 of just body size. Pure body size, 2.5. Oh, it's gone again. No! Guys, I need a better system than this. I need to like lock my camera in place somehow. Anyways, any hoodle. 2.5. Just body. Oh my gosh. It's like 2.5. Just body. Or it's like 4 centimeters including the goo. A wall mount system would be great, Callan. That's honestly a smart suggestion. Because yeah, it's just on top of my monitor. What if I put it... Would that work? Like... No, this is not working. I can point it up there. I can point it over here. It's farther away, but it's not terrible. At least for today, that might be the smart choice. But it just means that if I want to look at you, I have to like look up here. Instead of when I'm looking at my screen, I'm like, you know? Something to play around with on another day. Okay, so we may have cracked a code here. It stands to some reason that Solosis would only be the inner body. I'm okay with that. That feels like another fun hot take to share with the internet. But now this all comes down to Rowlet. So let's go get some Rowlet pictures. See, because this was them in battle. And that's like almost 1.5 centimeters of like everything, like goo and all, versus one and a half for Rowlet. So I don't know. It's almost like some Pokemon make so much sense with each other, and then others make sense with each other, but the two groups don't make sense with each other. Where's that Piplup? Hello, little friend. Yeah, you are taller than Rowlet. That's for sure. Gosh, you're cute little birds. Little bird friends. Oh yeah, like actually looking at Solosis beside Magnemite would be a cool idea. Rowlet didn't even wake up for that. Slow down, please. Excellent. Good. Okay. Almost had it, then he zoomed right out of there. Still a Minior kicking around, right? Somewhere. Or nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Minior's down there. Everybody up. Okay, as long as I'm in the middle. Okay, Rowlet, your bird friend is here. Oh, we're at a slight angle, folks. You are not different enough sizes from each other. I guess this is what I'm getting at, you know? Like, 10 centimeters is very subtle in the scope of this game. Minior? Minior? They tried to make friends with you and you just floated right by. Okay, yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. The Solosis is great. It's so social. Oh, are we playing? Oh, I'm not allowed over here? Okay, have I drawn any conclusions from this picnic? Look at these two birds. Look at them. Look at these two birds. Why do they look the same? I would love it if you would move your butt, Magnezone. I would love it. Yeah. Someone's gonna need some splaining on this one. Why are these birds the same? Like, they're not the same, but they're very close. Is that what 10 centimeters looks like in this game? I'm losing faith in Rowlet. After all this time. After all these years. I mean, they look a little more different from behind, actually. Is this about my angle? Okay. That looks more reasonable. So what's going on from the front wise? We're out of space for pictures! Oh no, this has never happened before. Like, I guess that... But if that's what 10 centimeters looks like, our odds of getting to the bottom of a lot of these things are getting slim, you know? Like, that doesn't feel like a big enough difference for these both. And so, okay, this is maybe my biggest concern that I've had for a while now is these ranges, right? Of like, when they say a perfectly average Pokemon, I'm assuming, and I think fairly assuming, that that means exactly what the Pokedex says, that is the height you're seeing. But I have this fear that there's still a range, that there's still like a plus or minus 1 inch, and that all is still considered perfectly average. I don't know that that's what's happening, but I fear that's what's happening. I don't know why they look so much different-er from behind than from the front. I mean, it's still kind of subtle. Anyways, we're out of room for screenshots, so we're just going pure VOD stuff on this now. So I still would like to see Solosis and Minior maybe. That's cute. That was really cute. Okay. They line up nicely, and I already forgot that I can't take a picture. Picture would have been good there, because I feel like maybe Minior with its spikes is bigger than Solosis total? Okay, wish I could take a picture, but this is good stuff. Maybe I should go delete a bunch of pictures so I can take more. Because I really want to I want to slow that down. Oh my god, I have 2,000 photos here, folks. That's wild. And a lot of them are this. They're all this. This is what I was talking about with wheezing, like really skimming the ground. But I know for a fact that some of these pictures were from long enough ago that I hadn't totally clued into the whole concept of perfectly average, and I just don't trust those photos anymore. So I'm pretty sure I can get rid. This is the section. How do I select? Aha. And some of these are just, they were like blueberry missions to take a picture of a Pokemon, you know? They didn't know what they were doing to me. They didn't know they were talking to a person who already had 1,500 photos saved. That's just cute. That doesn't look helpful. We having fun? Is everybody having fun watching me manage my storage space? Can't quite tell what even some of these pictures are, but I figure that means they are not important. Oh, well, hello. The other cat has stopped by. So 59 files. So let's see if that translates to, like, easy peasy, literally I can take 59 more photos. Look at all three of them hanging out. Such bros. They're being so helpful to me right now. Was my angle right? Was my angle good enough? Oh, and they're all leaving as a group. Okay. Well, let's look at that nice and slow so my brain can process. Which parts of these Pokemon are the same? Okay, so in this image, tip to tip Minior. Oh, hello. Would you like up, little girl? Pardon me as I attend to my cat. Everyone say hi to Cookie. She's a little bed over there. Okay, yes. We're looking about 2.5. Full body solosis, about 2.5. Or just like circle is like 1.6, 1.7. Just inner body is 1.6. So could go either way. which I guess means that comparing to something like Rowlet makes the most sense if every one of these three Pokemon can be measured either way and be consistent to each other either way. Then our only odd option is to check it against a different Pokemon that doesn't have multiple ways. But that Rowlet was so close in height to that Piplup. I wonder if I can get a picture. See, it just keeps going. It just keeps chaining out, because now I'm like, well, what can I get? Can I get a picture of any of these Pokemon beside Piplup? And that's going to be tricky because Piplup never flies, but I could get a picture of them beside like a Drifloon. I just feel like that's... No, it works. It works out regardless. It works out every way. Every which way you want to measure it, it works out. But what a lot of this comes back to that I haven't actually said out loud yet is that when I personally made Magnemites, I made 3 different versions. I made them all, whether the screw counted in the 30, whether the body was the pure 30. And the only like physical plush that I could get to work out to the full 3'3" of a Magneton was the one with the 30 centimeter body. Like, it just worked when I lined them up as a Magneton. So that was the main reason why I felt like that was the correct way to go. And we did measure Magneton the way that I measure my plush Magneton. So I'm still inclined to call it body only. But then there's ripple effects, right? Because body only Magnemite means body only Minior means body only Solosis means... I could be wrong about all of them at once, potentially. I think when we're done here, I might put all of these Pokemon into home. And then I can look at, like, compare them in home. Okay, so that's pretty nicely lined up. Full thing, including Goo Ring. Actually, it's like 3.2. So it's like almost a centimeter is a centimeter on Solosis. Exactly 2 centimeters inside body. Piplup is 4 centimeters. So like a centimeter is 10 centimeters. Okay, so compared to this perfect Piplup, we're talking outsides. Looking at the Minior now. And tip to tip would be about 30. So this is the hardest part, is using Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and just depending on the angle, seems like it changes the answer. Because you were all here moments ago. I was measuring them, and it seemed to make sense to my trainer. Oh, how about we could do that one more time? Because that's something we haven't technically done with these Pokemon, I guess. Other side. There's how you take a picture. Which means that maybe it was my estimate of my trainer as 5 feet tall that was skewing the data set. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe she's taller than that. Okay, 6.5 centimeters right now in this image. And I'm getting that calculator back out. So, 6.5 centimeters divided by 5 feet means 1.3 centimeters is a foot relative to my trainer. And scoliosis is too big if I measure the whole thing and too small if I measure half the thing. Let's see how Piplup does. Piplup should be like 1.6. Piplup is 2 centimeters. Okay. All right. So, so that means there's only 3.25 Piplups in a trainer. Which, so if I measured my trainer height, like if I do this the opposite way, where I'm assuming that Piplup is 40 centimeters and I'm extrapolating out what my trainer's height is, that would make my trainer 130 centimeters, which is 4.3 feet. Like that, what? What? Are there only 3.25 Piplups in me? Folks, I'm starting to lose, like, this is the point of the research where I feel like nothing is anything anymore. I might need to step away for the night. Whereas I'll do one more thing, because if I measure my trainer's height off of like a, let's say small scoliosis is about a centimeter. Yeah, that's pretty nicely a centimeter. So if my trainer is 6.5 and scoliosis is 1, that makes me 6.5 feet tall. So that can't be right either. If I measure the outer scoliosis, then that means there's 4.3 scoliosi. This trainer is not 4'4". That's not possible. And yet, whether I measure in scoliosis or Piplup, that's the answer I get. So there's something, I guess, wonky about my angle. This is so much more intricate than it should be. All right, we'll see you later. Clerk, yeah, the clerk. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. I hope I have an answer. I hope I have an answer soon. You'll see in a video one day, but in the meantime, I need the luck, so thank you for that. This is tripping me out. Like, okay, so Solosis is closer than Piplup was to the camera. Could do the thing where I stand inside the thing. Look at you lining yourselves up so perfect. Such perfect friends. I'm trying to get a picture where it's like the one point is at the top and there's like a perfect star. I mean, I'm just saying, I think Minior looks bigger than Solosis if you count its spikes, but it actually looks the same now if you use outer Solosis and inner Minior, and that's a really good picture. So maybe it is outer Solosis, but inner Minior would indicate inner Magnemite. Let's get these boys lined up one more time. Let's get Solosis. Actually, did I get any pictures of Solosis and Magnemite together? Like, kind of, I think, but not great. Outer Solosis is definitely bigger than inner Magnemite. Right? Where are my good pictures of Minior and Magnemite? I was pretty sure about that one. Okay, I'll spend another minute seeing if I can get Magnemite over here. Oh, he's just out in nowhere land. Magnemite and Solosis, please. Lined up nicely, please. Okay, alright. They're doing it. Are they gonna stand still? So I can, like, line up. Miraidon, honestly. Bud. I almost need to clear out the rest of the party so I can summon Solosis and Magnemite without other things running into the same zone. Wander together, not away. Remember when you wanted to make friends, Solosis? Do it, not. You're just going in circles. Alright, and if we don't get this in another try or two, I am moving on to Beldum. And we'll see if maybe that can be quick. Okay. Okay. Friends! Friends! Okay. You're lined up. That's a pretty good lineup. I wish you'd given me another, like, 2 more seconds there, but okay. Okay. Check my angle. Oh, why are you walking away, bud? Why are you walking away? It's so tough. The angle matters so much. So even when they're close together like this, I have to make sure my camera is like as squared as possible. No matter how good of an angle or like of a line they give me, it matters so much how I'm lined up. Hey, new sub. Thank you. The clerk. Just making sure I read it right. Evan de Klerk, but like the clerk was what we're calling you. So cool. Hope to see you back again one of these days. So based off like that's got to be the best kind of pictures we're gonna get. Which ones had the best angle? What does my ruler have to say? Inside solosis. Outside solosis is 2 centimeters. And like, yeah, outside Magnemite's about 2 centimeters. Okay, so, I mean, between all of this and Rowlet, it sure is feeling like Magnemite is being measured with its screw. How that results in the Magneton being a full meter, I'm not sure. That's, I don't know. Maybe there's more space in it than in mine. Where's Magneton? Yeah, maybe it's just positioned a little different than mine. I don't know. I might need to sit with this a little bit. Like, I'll probably come back and review this footage and make some notes and play around with my plushies themselves, even. But for now, it's almost 9 o'clock. I do want to get a little bit, like, let's go and see if I have perfectly average sized Beldum, Metang, Metagross, and then like the Fortress maybe. I am running low on brain process juice. Ooh, a thought with Magneton. Hit me with it, Callan. Oops. Modular elements can come apart and be juggled. Yes. So are you suggesting its size is kind of like malleable because it can adjust the placement of itself? Or are you literally telling me to juggle my Magneton? Because I could do that too. I forgot about Geodude. Oh, we were supposed to look at Geodude. Okay, I think I know enough. Oh god, it depends if Geodude's gonna fly or not. I know enough measurements relative to my trainer that I could see if it's 30 or 40 if it stands on the ground. Without a reference. I mean, I can juggle. That is a skill I have. They're big and squishy things to try and juggle, but I've posted a video of me juggling my Wooper once. Okay, that Beldum was too big. This Beldum is too small. Classic. Metang. Series biggin. Okay. 0 for 3. Small metagraph. Okay, we're 0 for 4. How normal is my Geodude? Oh, my Geodude's also too big. Okay. Do I have others? Nope. Nope, that was the only one of that too. Alright, so I don't have any of them average. This feels like it could take a bit. I do have a lot of Geodude though. Oh, a lot of them are... Oh, they're all... It's a... Paldean? I forget actually which region that is. Alolan? Alolan. And I don't have any other Kanto Geodude. Oh my god. Okay, well... This is probably where I need to call it for tonight then. If I don't have any of what I need. But I also don't feel like I have all of the answers that I needed out of tonight. So I might need to... I don't know. I'll do maybe a little bit of management off camera. But also I might just have to stream again sooner than I thought. Maybe next weekend. Oh my gosh. Maybe sometime this week. I want to do... What do I want to do? So, my goal... Here, let's just... Because my goal was... I've got like a whole new schedule that I want to do. So, new episodes of the Size Research Corner should be releasing every other week. So, one came out last weekend. What day is it? Sunday. One came out last weekend, which means that I was going to do research tonight and then start working on it this week so that one could come out next week. I should have been able to talk about Magnemite and Magneton by by like tomorrow, to start filming it was the ideal goal. That didn't go quite how I planned. It wasn't clear enough. So, yeah, the hope was that I would have done enough research tonight, the last weekend of every month, that I could then start filming both episodes for the following month's size research corners, like out of what I got out of one stream session. And I didn't even really get one full episode's worth out of this stream session, let alone 2 episodes worth. So I think this is what has to happen. I think I need to do a little bit more of this type of research, just head down, focused on my own, in order to get a Magnemite video ready for next week. At some point, I need to get that living dex going. And I could do that on stream, probably. I think I'll just find a day kind of off schedule. So the idea was the first and third weekends of every month have size research corner videos. The last weekend of every month I'm doing a live stream doing the research. And then the first weekend of that leaves the second weekend of each month open, where I was going to maybe do crochet alongs or something. We are already off book. If maintaining that schedule is not going to be sufficient. So we find a day to stream during the week to start building up Pokemon Home and the living dex. And also, I don't know, I'll just mostly need to analyze what we did today. I think I got enough information to pull something together. I might want to check out a couple other sources. I'd love to look at, when I think Magneton, I think Pokemon Snap 1, where you have to bait 3 Magnemite together to make them evolve to get a picture of a Magneton. That's always what I think about. So I'd love to get a nice reference, if I can find a way to film that and measure somehow, measure that Magneton against maybe the Magnemite that it was, and I don't know, that would be a good, interesting start. Knowing for a fact, so confident out of this tonight, I can say that it's the same model, that whatever Magnemite is what Magneton is made out of. That's a good start. I like knowing that. I think they might be in new Pokemon Snap, so there might be something I can do there too. And mostly, yeah, I think the biggest thing is just getting perfectly average ones in Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to make a big deal. So maybe that's all I have to do off stream. I just got to get those references locked in, clear out my Arceus farm and all that. And that'll be enough to give you my answer. The only thing that I'm missing, that it's a shame we didn't get to... Oh, heck. I'm sitting here blathering on like an outro, but maybe I should still... I didn't have the Metang, but if I have the Weezing or Iron Moth or Pelipper, I can still compare something to evolve. Oh my gosh, you do this for too long, you lose sight of what anything is called. You get the Magnemite, the Magneton, the Magnezone. If we still have something we can do a quick comparison to Magnezone, maybe I can still do that tonight. So is my Weezing average. Oh, I'm not talking to her. A little bit small. Okay. Well, that was going to be hard to use as our reference anyways. So I'll just keep it in the party. But know that... I forgot about Sandy Shocks. Oh, dude. Okay. Gotta include this in the video, right? Okay. 20 more minutes, folks. 20 more minutes. And then I'm outie. Do I have others? No, that's the only one I own. Dip. Because I can't even catch more, because that's a Scarlet exclusive. Can you breed Paradox Pokemon? Breed Paradox. Why can't we breed Paradox Pokemon? Rip. I'm gonna have to hit up some friends on that one. Okay, bud. Big moment. I'd appreciate it if you were perfect. Heck yeah. So that's something. That gives me something. Again, I don't... These are like... I say these all the time, and it always comes back to bite me. I don't know how Fortress could be ambiguous, so hopefully that one's not trouble for me. But while I'm here... I might as well... Like, if I... As many of the 3'11s as I can find, I might as well. Weezing, Pelipper, Driftbloom. Weren't they side by side? What's happening? Oh no, they were not quite side by side. Okay. Which of these things are average? Do tell. Not Weezing. Yes, Fortress. How's Pelipper? Nice. How about the Moth? And then the last one would be a Driftbloom. Okay. That's not helpful. Are they in this game? have one. I don't know why I'm bringing Magneton back, just because I feel like I have to. It fills out the party, you see. Maybe I'll get another picture that'll conflict me. Beautiful. Okay. So, first of all, I should give all of these their mark. Nope. Amazing. Okay, picnic time. So what we learned about Magnezone, what I felt confident saying, was that it was not like tip to tip biggest measurement. What we want to figure out is if it's maybe bottom of body to top of antenna, or lowest point of magnets to top of body. I'm hoping it's one of those two things. It's nighttime. Okay, so keeping in mind that wheezing is not quite right in size. But everything else is perfect. So it does look like already Fortress and Pelipper are lining up pretty nicely. Okay, alright, here we are. I mean, that looks like bottom of magnets to top of head to me. Maybe the fact is that either would work. Like, that's also worth considering. It could be that either way is accurate. If those happen to be the same size. No one else floats quite that high, except Driftbloom. What do we feel like looking at Pelipper? Alright, y'all are moving around a little much. I'm gonna wait till they start to fall asleep. Because, you know, even just looking at... Just looking at Pelipper and Driftbloom now, trying to decide how I want to measure Driftbloom. Because that kind of looked like bottom, but again, like not counting fluff. Like we did that one time. So yeah, actually, this looks kind of like bottom lining up with bottom, like the red part and the bottom of Magnezone's body, to like the top of head, top of antenna. So that's neat. Pelipper, you there? You're here. You also fly at a height that is approximately... Driftbloom, not helping. Driftbloom, not helping. That would be, yeah, like bottom of body to top of antenna. Wheezing is such a weird one. I don't know, man. You don't seem big enough. Like, what part of you is 3 feet? Almost 4 feet, right? That's what we're looking at. 3'11". What part of you is 4 feet? Like, I know you're a little small, but gee whiz. Okay, so here's the interesting thing that we can look at. Actually, I think I had some good Magnezone pictures, right? Because I feel like maybe this is actually just like the resolution here is the size of Magnezone. The distance from the lowest point of where his magnet goes to the body is about 1.5 centimeters. The height of its antenna is about 1.5 centimeters. It's not perfect, which means that there might be a more correct way to measure it. Like a slightly more precise way to go about that. But for the sake of my research, I'm pretty comfortable saying it could go either way. And that's fine. We didn't actually get the width measurement that I was talking about. So let's like try and square them up with the camera real nice. Yes, there's a wheezing in our way, but we don't mind. Okay, you're sleeping right beside Driftbloom now. He does droop his magnets a bit when he sleeps, I guess. Which could be good reason to measure to the antenna. Like we're going Magnemite on this all over again. Ah! I may have just concluded my video. Okay, so there's still a small mystery, in my head at least, in terms of making up the difference between the smaller version of Magnemite, the antenna counts Magnemite, evolving into a big enough Magneton. But I'll just have to play around with that in my own brain. Maybe do some Photoshop shenanigans. But then evolving again into Magnezone and using that same measuring kind of schema of like bottom of body to top of head thing ties it all back together, you know? Maybe I'm not mad anymore. Maybe I'm okay with this. Okay, all right. Alright, well. I guess that's it. I guess I can call it a night. Look at you two. You're the same size. Do you know that? Okay, right, so yeah, there's one or two little, like, nuggets of information that I will try and hunt down. And included in that, I'll actually get the Pokemon Home comparison of Magnemite and Magneton. I think that'll be interesting as well. And then, yeah. Yeah, that'll be at least one more video that we can work on. And maybe that second weekend in February, I will stream again to do Metagross research. We'll see. I'll see what I have time to do and how that all shapes up. But for now, thank you for being here. I do feel like I have a conclusion. I have a beginning, middle, end to run with on the Magnezone line again. So let's end this picnic and save this game. Because we did some decent progress of finding average Pokemon here today. Okay, so there we go. A glimpse into the life I lead and how complicated this nonsense can get. Oh my gosh, it's so silly sometimes. But there we have it, and yeah, hopefully next time we're all together like this, I'll have a slightly bigger repertoire of average Pokemon to pull from. Hopefully I'll have Legend Za up and running, and I'll have cleared out a bunch of space in Arceus. Got a bunch of things for me to work on. No shortage of things for Katzer to do. But yeah, look forward to my video on Magnemite. Coming out in about a week if I can get it done. So that'll be good. And yeah. I'll see everybody next time. Thanks for hanging out.